Hello there. Today we'll be doing our 45th problem in our linked list. So this is reverse nodes and cave groups. So in this particular problem, we are given a linked list and we need to reverse the cave items. So what does that mean? So suppose we're given 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what we need to reverse is the first two, so 2 and 1. And then we have this particular linked list, and then we need to reverse the next two, so 4 and 3. So as you can see, this is going to require us a lot of manipulation already. So because we have to do reversing, we have to keep track of the groups, we have to go to the next group and get the cave item. Okay, so basically we have a dummy node here, and we're pointing to, let's say, 1. We need to reverse this group here. So basically means this is the previous group, and this is the next group, and yeah. So how do we get the previous group, the next group? And we need to make sure that this is the start of the group, and this is the end of the group, right? And with that, that's our goalpost, and that's what we're trying to do. So first of all, let's get the previous group. Equals dummy equals list node at next equals head. Okay, so we have that. We have the previous group. That's done. We need the next group. So next group is going to be here. From here, we're going to move cave items, and we're going to get the next item. That's next group. So so cave equals get cave, and we're going to put in the previous group. And we're going to have cave items in there. So if not cave, then we're going to return or break. The reason why we're breaking is because we're going to have to do this for each group. And while this is happening, we're going to have to do this cave item and move from previous group to next group. So we're going to do a while true here. So with that, we're ready to move on. So do we have next group? No, we don't. Next group is equal to cave.next. Okay, great. So what do we need to make this the start of the group and make this the end of the group? Well, to make this the start of the group, we have to reverse it, and we have to make these pointers, this pointer here, point to this one, and this pointer point to the next group. Okay, so basically, we're going to set this as previous and this as current, and that way we can point this item to this item, and then we're gonna start moving things around and set this as next until current becomes next group, and that means that previous is going to be here at the starting point, and we can move on. Let me show you what I mean. So so previous and current. So previous is going to be next group. Current is going to be well, the previous group dot next. And so what's going to happen is that previous group points to while current does not equal next group. Current next is equal to current dot next. And current dot next is equal to previous, previous equals to current, current equals to next. And that's basically going to do a reversal. And so we move these, this particular points, as we move this particular pointer. P is now pointing to 1. And we're going to reverse this pointer here. So 2 points to 1, and we move everything forward one more time. And now current is in next group. So perfect, and that's it. So now all we need to do is we have our starting group, start of group. So start of group is equal to previous. We have the end of group, which is equal to the previous group dot next, and the start of group. We need the end of group to point to next group. So so end of group dot next is equal to next group. So basically, well, actually that's already happening because that's already happening. But what we need is actually the previous group dot next to point at the start of the group rather than the end of the group, and we're gonna set. So now we have this pointing to the start of the group instead. So this pointer is pointing to 2 now. And now we need previous group dot next, of course. One last thing is that we need to reset our previous group to be the new location. Basically, we need to set it at the end of the group. So one thing we can save is this line here, but I think this reads better, so we'll just keep it like that. So with that, I think we are done here, and we can return the dummy dot next. Of course, we need to define our get cave item, which is self dot previous group and cave, and we need to return a list node. So that's current is equal to previous group, while current and k is greater than 0. What's going to happen is k minus equals 1, and current equals current dot next, and we'll return current. And with that, we are good to go. So let me show you let's run through the code one more time before we complete this. So let's move into the next picture here, though. Okay, so as we move in, what's going to happen is dummy is now pointing to 2 at this point. 2 is pointing to 1. 1 is pointing to 3. And 3 is pointing to 4 and pointing to 5. And our previous group is now at 1. And our cave item is at 4. And our next group is at 5. Accordingly, because our previous group is here, that's how we start everything. And yeah, so now what we're going to do is let's run through the code. Previous and current. So previous is here, current is here. And we're going to point current to previous straight like this. Point to 5. And now we can move our items from to current to equal to current.next and prev to current. So we do that and we repeat. And now we're going to move this pointer. We're going to create next first, of course, and then we'll move the pointer to previous. And we will move p to current and current to next. Of course, current is now equal to next group, and that means we are done with this. And so what happens here is that we need start of group and the end of group. So end of group is here. This is SG, start of group, and the end of group is at, the end of group is at the previous group next. And this is start of the group at 4, at the previous item. Now, what basically means is that now we're going to point the previous group here straight to the start of the group, which is because we don't need these anymore, so we're going to remove them. Point to the start of the group, and we have 1 points to 4, points to 3, points to 5, and basically that means that at the end of this picture here, what we have is we have the dummy pointing to 2, pointing to 1, pointing to 4, pointing to 3, pointing to 5, and the previous group is now here at 3, and we're pointing to 5 and looking for a cave item which doesn't exist, so we break and we return dummy.next, which is 2, and that means we're done here. Great. So let's run the code. So if you have any questions or anything, please comment below. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. And wow, this is a very quick solution this time around. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.